this one. I want to watch this one.
Overwatch tips for beginners part Sleeper. Reaper is one of the easiest heroes in the game to play. He's basically a point-and-click hero who literally heals himself as he shoots. Oh, and not to mention, he has a get-out-of-jail-free card, his Shift, and an ult that's a one-button kill-all feature. But there's one thing that makes him somewhat balanced, his reload speed. But don't worry, you can fix that. If you hit melee a split second after you start to reload, the animation will cancel and you will have all your bullets back, making him the most brain-dead hero but also very user-friendly. So if you feel like playing Overwatch on easy mode, I would highly suggest giving him a try. I hope that helps.
If I remember correctly, that's a myth. Chat, that's a myth. If you melee, what you can do is you just add a melee animation in. It doesn't cut the reload time. You can just add an extra melee in before the animation is over. It's a good habit to have, but that's about it. This is a myth. This is a myth that's been going on for years and years and years. It does not work. You've tried. It doesn't cut if you tried. It used to be true, though. Yes, it used to be true, but they removed it. They removed it. At the same time, playing Reaper, he's like one of the very few heroes in which which like you can use your melee animation. You should use your melee animation to cancel the reload because you will be in melee range probably, right? Compared to other heroes. Like, for example, I would say that getting this rhythm with Ana shouldn't be done. Yeah, you shouldn't do this with Ana that much because you're going to play probably medium to long range. With Reaper, though, you kind of want to throw melees in. So this should happen. This should happen. You should definitely do this. Bob Ash Guide.
How to climb with Ash in 3 steps. The BOB Guide.
The BOB
This
Guide
will teach you how to climb with Ash outside of aim. Many Ash players tunnel vision on hitting shots and don't get full value out of their abilities.
Okay.
1. Bomb timing. 2. Off angle. 3. Bomb placement. First, don't mindlessly throw your bomb or dynamite. It gets way more value when your team follows up. Try to time your dynamite with when your team engages. This makes it much more likely that you find kills with it. Second, try to play on off angles. This means shooting the enemy team from another angle than the rest of your team. This creates a crossfire. This diverts attention away from the rest of your team and puts more pressure on the enemy team by decreasing their safe space. Last,
nice, I like this.
Think about your bomb placement. While you do want to use your ult as fast as possible to build another, think about where your position bomb. You often gain the most value by throwing in behind the enemy. This creates a very strong off angle.
Yeah, very
However,
good tips.
Keep abilities like sleep dart in mind. Comment below what hero.
Very good tips, dude. Super good tips, honestly.
I'm sure most players know that Wrecking Ball would sing the Overwatch theme song if you shoot the bells on Dorado matching the Overwatch tune.
Yes.
But did you know that this voice line would play when you drop the beat in Lucio's studio on the map Paraíso?
Oh, let's break it. Damn! Hey, from the crap part of Her Name is Rio, this is Lucio.
There's also a hidden voice line that plays when you throw Sigma's rock on the deck floaty in the pool of Circuit Royale. I'm sure most players know that.
They had me in the first half. They had me in the first half. I gotta tell you. They had me in the first half. I was like, whoa, this is so cool. Okay. How to steal into the backline as a top 500 Sombra. Wait, do yourself a favor and please learn then one more.
As someone who is new to Overwatch with just Overwatch 2, I have to say that this is one of the hardest games to learn.
It's
not only
really
do you
hard,
have to
yeah.
learn maps, but you have to learn heroes. And not just 1 or 2 heroes. You need to be well-rounded to be able to counter. And on top of that, you have to learn who counters who. And as frustrating as it is, with all of the new players coming into Overwatch 2, a lot of us are just trying to learn. And some of us, let's be honest here, some of you take a little bit longer to learn than others. And I won't hold that against you. But please take time to learn in quick play. That is the place to learn. If you're gonna play comp, please go into quick play and learn a few different legends so you're not stuck on one and bringing your team down. I started off as Moira, then I'm learning Kiriko, and now I'm moving on to learn Ana, just to be a little bit more well-rounded. I don't even use a hero in comp until I've tried to learn them in quick play. As someone who is...
I mean, now, I have a problem with this. Okay, chat, I have a problem with this. So, you have 2 approaches. Apart from the fact that the entire credibility went down because he said legends. you have two approaches to any game, I would say. You can either be mediocre at every hero, okay? But know every hero and what counters what, and it's a ton of knowledge. Or you can get really good at like one or two heroes and climb a lot. I've done it with all supports. I've done a rank 2 GM's educational content with all supports until Grandmaster, right? You can climb to Grandmaster with any hero. I don't care what people tell you. It's gonna be harder with some heroes because they might not work all the time. For example, with Symmetra. You might get people getting upsetty at you. For example, with Moira, being a TikTok Moira on the backline. That doesn't mean that he would not be able to climb. I was playing Ana. I started off kind of like streaming like an Ana one trick in the Mot meta, right? The Mot meta was the meta in which Mercy was able to get reses off almost, oh my god. She was resing people left and right and left and right and left and right, and everybody was so upset at me, and I still was close to top 10. It doesn't matter that much with hero swapping, my opinion. I think that this is like a very, very important concept that needs to be understood. So, yes, you can play, I don't know, Orisa to counter Roadhog. If you can play Orisa, okay? I would rather have somebody that's really good at Zenyatta, play Zenyatta in a bad Zenyatta matchup, than them swapping to Mercy and not know how to position themselves. I would say that the best way to learn to play the game is the following. You start playing with as many heroes as possible, okay? You try every hero that you like. If you don't have enough time, play with heroes that you don't play with heroes that you think you're not gonna like. For example, you don't like shield tanks. Fine, don't play with Reinhardt. Try every hero. And then you have two options. Okay, hear me out. You have two options. Pick the heroes that you have the most fun with, and pick the heroes that you want to win with. Okay? That the heroes that you're best at, naturally speaking. I don't know how, but for me, Ana worked. Probably because I played CS before, so I stuck with Ana. Initially, she wasn't that good for me, but eventually I started learning her. This is why I love playing Baptiste, and I don't like playing Zenyatta. So again, step number 1, try every hero in the game, or as many as possible. Step number 2, you have two options. You either pick a hero that you're having fun with and get good at that hero, or you're playing the heroes that you're already decent with and try to master them. The first option, you'll have a way better time because you're going to have fun playing them. And the second option, you're going to have way faster wins. Now, to summarize, to give the conclusion to my tip with this. I think that once you know which heroes you want to play, you don't learn 10 heroes at the same time. I think that you play 1 or 2, you get really good at them, and then you move forward. How long it takes you, it can take you 10 hours, it can take you 100 hours, it can take you 1,000 hours. Depends on what you want to do. 1 or 2 heroes, and then move forward. You can pick the one that you're having fun with, but you might be losing games because you might not be that good at that hero, or you pick the one that you get the most wins with, even though you don't like playing them. But you're gonna get wins, so you're gonna enjoy playing. All that matters is that you have the motivation to put the grind hours in that hero or in those heroes and get really good at them. And I'll tell you why. The reasoning, okay? So, dude, I understand your tips with this. Like, okay, please don't join my games if you... Whatever. Chat, hear me out. You're a new player to the game. Any Overwatch League player in your games in Plat or lower SR, in any games or like in quick play and stuff, that plays a suboptimal hero because they're countered will win. And by that logic, then play somebody that you're really good at, get really good, and then keep on playing. It's what has been my approach for all games throughout time. Okay? So I try as many heroes as possible, if I can, that is. And after that, I'm going to pick 1 or 2, get really good at them, and then move forward. This is how you don't get stuck. This is how you don't get stuck, chat.
Hey, I'm Olaf. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to subscribe. Meow.